Grand Prix at Arama, opening round of the 9-meeting Sidecar World Championship. It caused the start of the race to be delayed and had the spectators scurrying for shelter. But finally, it was time to roll them. Rolf Biland of Switzerland in pole position, and he'd lapped quicker than any of the solos. He was 2.3 seconds quicker than reigning world champion Steve Webster. Joining them on the front row of the grid, the Frenchman, Alain Michel. And it was Biland first off the line, with Michel alongside him. And at the first corner, Biland led with Michel second, the Zerberg brothers third, and Webster back in fourth place. For a brief moment, Alain Michel slipped ahead of his Swiss rival, with Webster and Stroyer in pursuit of the leading duo. Biland was back in front as the rain started to fall a little heavier. Michel, Webster and Zerberg still in chase. Biland still there, but the rain is making things very tricky indeed. Biland still out in front, but conditions getting worse all the time, and Rolf is forcing on a very, very quick pace. Webster in second spot, Michel in third place, and suddenly they found that Biland had spun in front of them. He managed to restart, but he dropped back to 11th place before he finally got underway. That left Webster out in front, with Michel and Kumano in second and third place. And remarkably, Biland was back up into fourth spot. Conditions, though, were getting just too dangerous, and Webster, after a big slide, decided to call it a halt. The others agreed with him. Rider power had struck again. A change of tyres, the track still wet though, and Biland gets another chance. He was back on the second row of the grid when the flag fell, but soon he stormed through, wheels spinning heavily in a cloud of spray to grab the lead. Biland out in front, Stroyer in second place, Webster third, the Egloffs fourth, and Alain Michel in fifth position. Biland simply streaked away from the opposition. Swiss star with Kurt Waltisberg in the chair, setting an uncatchable pace. Stroyer second now, Egloff third, and Webster back in fourth place. Conditions, though, awful. Biland caught and chased by Stroyer in the closing stages, with Webster pushed back to third spot. The results would be on an aggregate time of the two racers added together. Billand on target then for maximum points, if the order stayed like this. And that's exactly how it did stay. Billand romping home first, Stroyer very close to him in second place, and Webster third. So Billand winner of part 2 and winner overall. Stroyer beaten by 2 seconds. Total time, second overall, and Webster third overall. Billand won in Germany and Austria too, and headed for Holland, round 4, on maximum points, 13 ahead of Webster. Billand fastest in practice from Stroyer and Webster, but it was the Dutch hero Stroyer who led the charge on the opening lap from Steve Webster and Rolf Billand. And Stroyer stayed out in front to the delight of his Dutch fans, despite the efforts of Webster and Billand. Eventually, though, Billand and Webster found their way past the Lucky Strike team member, though, and the battle was on. Derek Jones, old crazy horse himself, was 4th and Kumagaya 5th, while others found it all too difficult. Rolf Billand was flying, Kurt Waltisberg struggling to keep the sidecar wheel down. But unlucky Alain Michel was out yet again. Billand the winner, but Stroyer came charging back to snatch second place from Webster. Belgium, and conditions again far from ideal. Webster, 3rd fastest in training, needed a win, and badly, but he was only 3rd fastest in practice. Quickest inevitably was Billand, but Rolf, like many, wasn't sure what tyres to use for the race. And Stroyer, champion in 84, 85 and 86, needed a good result if he too was to stay in the title hunt. Stroyer away well, and so too were Webster and Billand as the field charged downhill to Eau Rouge. Stroyer, Billand, Webster the order on the opening lap. But Billand was soon in front, leaving Stroyer and Webster to chase. Rolf Billand, the pacemaker. Egbert Stroyer and Bernie Schneiders in second place. Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt in third spot. And as the track dried out, Billand went quicker and quicker. Stroyer chasing, Webster still third. Billand out in front, Stroyer in second place, Webster in third spot, still together, and Billand couldn't shake them off. Billand the leader, and Webster challenging now Stroyer for second place. Derek Jones, chased by another fine British rider, Barry Brindley. Soon though, Billand was beginning to pull away from his rivals. Stroyer still second and Webster third. The Egloff brothers were in 4th place, Alan Michel 5th, and the Zerbrook brothers in 6th spot. Billand with Stroyer and Webster still in chase. Once again, Billand opened the gap and Webster was through to 2nd place ahead of Stroyer, who was beginning to strike trouble. 3 laps from home and Stroyer was out. Billand on his own, Webster in 2nd place, and the Dutch pair merely spectators. Webster put in a charge on the closing stages of the race and began to haul back the Swiss rider ahead of him. And at the flag, Billand was a mere 14 seconds ahead of the British World Champion. So, with 5 races gone, 5 wins to Billand. He's on 100 points, Webster 2nd on 79, and Stroyer 3rd on 47. And so the battle moved on to France, and Steve Webster set the place alive by leading the field on the opening lap. Webster, Stroyer, Egloff and Michel. Billand down in 5th place as they start their 2nd lap. Chance to see just how quick the outfits were, and it was the Egloffs who moved through to grab the lead from Webster as they got to the end of that long Mistral straight. Egloff, Webster, Stroyer and Billand. Michel now in 5th place. And now Billand was in front. Webster robbed of his short-lived lead. Egloff in 3rd place and Stroyer 4th. Billand's Harold Barteltoon Krauser motor just too quick for Webster and co. The Swiss ace out in front. Webster 2nd. Stroyer 3rd. And Egloff back to 4th place. Rolf Billand out in front and catching the tail enders, but Webster had begun to cut back his lead. Billand was superb. And lap by lap, Webster was beginning to see his title slip away from him. Billand once again stretching the advantage. Webster in 2nd place, but Stroyer in trouble yet again. This time a puncture puts him out. And at the flag, Billand just over 5 seconds ahead of Webster, with Egloff 3rd. Billand on 120 points and unbeaten. Webster on 96 and Michel third with 56. The British Grand Prix at Donington Park, the scene of Steve Webster's great victory in 1987. But Rolf Billand is the winner of the opening 6 rounds of this year's series, and Billand was fastest in practice from Webster and Egloff. But it was quick-starting Egbert Stroyer who chased Billand into Redgate on lap 1. Billand, Stroyer, Webster and Jones the order. And someone takes the scenic route. Billand still in front. Stroyer second, Webster third and Derek Jones holding 4th place. And Rolf Billand still setting the pace on that opening lap. With 4 laps gone, though, it was Stroyer who was out in front, chased by Steve Webster and Rolf Billand. And Webster nipped through at Redgate to grab the lead. Stroyer dropping back, leaving Webster and Billand to battle it out up front. The 60,000 fans urging their hero on, but Billand was back in front, with tail-enders slowing Webster. Billand the leader, Webster second, and the British ace closer. Webster leads, and he's pulling away. Webster and Hewitt can hardly believe it. They've won. Billand second, Michel third and Egloff fourth. So now it's Billand at 137, Webster 116, Michel 69 and Stroyer 65. 2 races to go. And the British fans went wild. Suddenly, Steve Webster and Tony Hewitt can see some hope. The Union Jack flutters proudly. Sweden, the penultimate round of the 1988 Sidecar World Championship. Webster fastest in practice, the Egloff second best, Michel third. Billand on row 2. But on the opening lap, it was the Egloffs who led. Webster in second place, Billand in third spot. Egloff, Webster, Billand the order. Michel in fourth place, Steinhausen fifth and Kumagaya sixth. And a big crash. Theo van Kempen and Simon Birchall have rolled it on the start and finish straight. The outfit almost destroyed, but the pair escape injury. The order still, Egloff, Webster, Billand. Billand tries to go up into second place. But Webster fights back. He goes round the outside to fight off the challenge. Billand leads. Webster second, and Egloff trailing a little now in third spot. But Webster wants to retain his crown. He must beat Billand, and the British rider forced his way through to grab the lead. And try as he might, Billand couldn't come back. Webster wins again. Billand second, Stroyer third, Michel fourth, and Egloff fifth. Billand's lead cut to 18 points with 1 round to go. Webster needs a miracle. Rolf fastest in practice. Steve Webster second, over a second behind. But Steve has a stand-in passenger too, Gavin Simmons. Tony Hewitt injured at a race at Zandvoort. Webster and Simmons, though, out in front, with Egloff, Stroyer second and third, and Billand back in fourth place. Webster still in front, but Egloff closer, and Stroyer under threat from Billand. Steve Webster, the reigning champion. Egbert Stroyer and Marcus Egloff in chase. But Rolf Billand is in trouble. He's dropping back down the field all the time. Webster the leader, Stroyer in second place. And Billand is out, his gearbox has blown. But Webster has to win still to take the title, and Stroyer is giving him a real tough time. But with the 200,000 strong crowd urging them on, Webster and Simmons just refuse to give in. They blocked every move that Stroyer made. Webster, the winner. Stroyer, second. Poor old Rolf Billand, who held out a slender hope that enough outfit would fall out to give him the few points he needed, pushes home, a bitterly disappointed man. So, Steve Webster, world champion for the second year in a row. 2 points, his slender winning margin. His new passenger, Gavin Simmons, a hero too. His experience of Grand Prix racing limited to less than just 3. And regular ballast Tony Hewitt at home, missing the celebrations. Webster, the man who never gave up, never gave up hope. But Rolf Billand, well, perhaps the finest sidecar racer in the world. Beaten for the title once again. But he had the satisfaction of winning 6 of the 9 rounds of the 88 series. And when the machinery matches his brilliance, he's virtually unbeatable. Third in the points, Egbert Stroyer, a 3 times world champion. This season, he and passenger Bernie Schneiders have had more than their fair share of bad luck. If there was a title for unluckiest man in sidecar racing, then Alain Michel of France would take it. The Frenchman pipped at the final round for 3rd place. The sensation of the season, though, were the Egloff brothers, Marcus and Urs. The Swiss twins proved themselves to be in the top flight, taking 5th place in the points and grabbing a top 4 place 4 times in the season. 6th best was British veteran Derek Jones, too old now perhaps to live up to his nickname of Crazy Horse, but still a top-class competitor. Derek, a former grass track racer, never to be underestimated. But 1988 was the year of Steve Webster. Can he make it a hat-trick in 1989?